Okay, after you take out all the screws and put them in a Ziploc, make sure you keep them safe because we need them to screw everything back in. Then I'm going to take something to pry it out. I'm using a keycap puller. Just take it like this, put it under this bottom part, just take it like this and go along the side and try and pry it out like this. The cool thing about this is that there is, unlike other keyboards, there is no wire connecting the PCB to the USB-C. It's automatically soldered on. So that's pretty cool. So next you want to keep this somewhere safe. Don't lose this. If you break it, you can't really use the keyboard anymore. So yeah, I'll put this in a safe spot. Next, we're going to be filling this case with foam. Okay, so after you're done, all you need to do is cut out a piece of EVA foam like this, and then lay it down and push all these holes, all these little standoffs, push it down and everything, and they'll break open. Just cut them off a little bit, and I cut a little bit on the side, as you can see here, a little bit on the side, just cause. But make sure it's tight. No, make sure there's not many loose ends, and if you have a keyboard like mine that has a USB-C that goes in here, make sure there's space, otherwise the keyboard won't work. Okay, so after you put in all this foam, you want to put this away and take your plate and PCB. And what you want to do is look at these little pins right here and then push them in. Might take a while, but when you push them in, they're what's connecting the PCB and plate. So when you push them in, they should disconnect, and there's 4 of these. So it might take a while, but I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so when you get the plate, you want to be very careful with the stabilizers. We want to get a knife and some PE foam and put the plate on top of the PE foam and just trace around the edge of the plate so we can just get an outline of it to put under it. The PE foam will give it the keyboard a really nice sound, which will be great for gaming. Okay, so once you cut it, it doesn't have to be perfect, but after you cut it, you want to take out the stabilizers, which is pretty easy. So when it's in, like this, first let me put it. When it's in, you just want to, if you see these what's it called? Just pull up on the stabilizer like this. Just put your thumb right here and pull up. The stabilizer comes out. I organized it. I think so. I know which one goes in which hole. And so now when you put the PE foam on, it's really easy to just cut out the stabilizer holes. Okay, this is what it should look like after you're all done with cutting it out. It takes a really long time to get this all done, but it is very rewarding when it comes to the sound. Okay, as you saw earlier, you probably didn't see this on here, and you don't actually need this because this is used to connect the plate and the PCB when it comes stock. You don't actually need this because we have our screws to screw everything together. So you want to take all of them off, put your PCB in, then take your foam, line it up. When you line everything up right, then when you put your foam on, it should everything should line up perfectly. It takes a while to get it just in the right spot, and you might have to do some cutting, but it'll be different every single time you put it on. So once you figure it out, don't keep taking it off. Just keep it like that, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, after you put in the PE film on top of the PCB, and then you put the plate on, you should be able to squeeze it, and it should look like this. Make sure there's no gaps in the side at all. And when you do this, it shouldn't be very loose. You should have to really put some force down, which is what we want to get a nice sound. Okay, after you have put everything on, you want to make sure it stays like that, and so you want to put the screws in these little screw holes and screw them in with a screwdriver. It's gonna take a while because you need to put. It's gonna go through the PE foam, and don't worry, it won't break any. It won't affect the sound of the PE thing. It'll just go right through. And it will take a while, so I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. Okay, so after you screwed in everything, you want to put in the switches. And I decided to use KTT mint switches. This is how they look. They are mint colored. They are pretty cheap and they sound pretty good. And so after you put those all in, and it will take a while because there's PE foam, but don't worry, it won't break the PCB or it won't break anything. After that, you want to put in all the keycaps. Make sure if you have a reference keyboard, use the reference keyboard to know where to put each keycap. And after that, you're finished. Plug in the cable, plug into the computer, and you're all set. And that's how I made this gaming keyboard.